see whether or not our delegations arrive.
Meeting order. Be resolved that the agenda for the February 21st, 2023 meeting be accepted as presented. So please move that. Councillor McGregor, seconder. Councillor McDonald, all in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the minutes of the January 17th, 2023 regular meeting of council be hereby approved as circulated. Moved by Councillor Fisher, seconded by Councillor Jones. Errors or omissions? All in favor? Carried. Under finance, be it resolved that the February 14th, 2023 general accounts payable being checks number 6265 to 6346 and one man in the amount of $372,375.65 be hereby approved. Councillor McDonald moves it, seconder. Councillor McGregor. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that direct deposit 248 being staff payroll for the period of January 9th to January 20th, 2023 in the amount of $13,094.54 be hereby approved. Councillor Fisher moves it, seconder. Councillor Jones, discussion? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that direct deposit 249 being staff payroll for the period January 23rd to February 3rd, 2023 in the amount of $16,708.35 be hereby approved. Please move that. Councillor McDonald moves, seconded by Councillor Fisher. Discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that direct deposit 251 being staff payroll for the period February 6th to February 17th, 2023 in the amount of $12,627.36 be hereby approved. Please move that. Mr. McDonald, second Councillor Fisher. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that direct deposit 250 being council indemnities for the month of January 2023 in the amount of $5,445.02 be hereby approved. Please move that. Councillor Jones, second Councillor McDonald. Discussion? All in favor? Under the utility account, be it resolved that the February 14th, 2023 utility accounts payable being checks number 963 to 975 in the amount of $9,278.83 be hereby approved. May please move that. Councillor McDonald, seconder. Councillor McGregor, discussion? All in favor? Be it resolved that the statement of revenue and expenditures report to January 31st, 2023 be received as presented. So please move that. Councillor Fisher, second Councillor McDonald. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Bank reconciliations. Be it resolved that the bank reconciliations for the month of January 2023 be approved as previously circulated. Please move that. Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor Fisher, discussion? All in favor? Okay, our delegation is not here. So would you want to go to communications?
Okay, under the order of communications, there are several from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities. There are January the 17th, the 20th, the 19th, the 25th, 2 on February the 1st, February the 3rd, February the 7th, and February the 9th. There is information from B&B Memorial Restoration on their 2023 services. Canadian Wildlife Services provided information on the prairie skink. The Centre for Indigenous Environmental Resources gave information on their Southwest Priority Place. Federation of Canadian Municipalities provided some communiques dated January the 16th, the 23rd, the 30th, and February the 13th. The Hudson Bay Route Association provided information on their membership. And again, I would let council know that this council has never been part of that association. And Michael Fern was sending information on evaluating energy integration into development plans. That's his thesis project. Manitoba Communities in Bloom provided information on their 2023 program. Manitoba Good Roads gave their January 2023 newsletter. And Manitoba Infrastructure and Transportation provided information on the safety fitness criteria and certificates regulations amendments. Municipal Relations provided bulletin number 1 and number 4. One is on the municipal officials education session and the other is on the planning handbook. Prairie Mountain Health provided their February newsletter. I provided a copy of the response letter that had been done to the rural municipality of Cornwallis. RCMP Survey Center with their contract partners survey. Southwest Regional Roundtable, a meeting invitation to councilors. Sustainergy, Community Building Monitoring and Analysis Grant. And United Way Centraid Canada Community Services Recovery Fund.
Okay, be it resolved that the above noted communications be received. Say, please move that. Councillor Gomes, seconder. Councillor Jones, discussion. All in favor? Okay, carrying on to committee reports. Start Ward 3, South Zone. Councillor Fisher, you have a written report. Anything to add to that?
Nothing. Here's your delegation here.
Okay. Let's get through this. Councillor Jones, you have a written report. Anything further to add?
Nope.
North Ward, Councillors Flory has no report. Councillor Hatch has a report that he's away. Ward 1, Wawanesa Zone. Councillor McDonald, you have a written report. Anything to add to it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just two things. Our handyman committee is, we're applying for grants to possibly update one of our so that's something that we're just looking into, to upgrade one. And another one is, Councillor Fisher and I attended the training for once elected, the new training at the Victoria Inn there on Friday, and I recommend all councillors. It was very good. So I just wanted to say that. Always picked up something.
Yeah. Councillor Gregory, you have a...
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to submit a written report, but fairly regular month. In addition to regular activities, I just wanted to note that the ice plant is running both hockey and curling sides now, and we are hopeful that the project will wrap up this week. And I did attend at the many on February 8th at the launching questions for the variation applications. So just to note those two things.
Right, thank you. My report is there, nothing to add to it. CEO's report, anything to add?
Nothing further to add?
Finance officer's report, anything to add to that?
No, nothing to add.
Okay. Public works report is there, anything to add to it, Stuart?
No.
Fire chief report is there. Be it resolved that the verbal and written reports be received. So please move that. Councillor McGregor, second Councillor Jones. Any discussion out of that? All in favor? Okay, so you have the delegation is here, so we'll back up a bit. Welcome.
Thank you. I see you got Brian White, you on here as the corporal, but Brian's actually in court today testifying, so I've got Grant Campbell, my corporal from Carver, with me. I don't have a whole lot for you guys. I brought the stats, but there's really nothing out of the ordinary for what we usually have here. But the big thing are we got 64 charged under the Highway Traffic Act and 2 impaireds. So that's great coming out of the area. So those are things we're looking for all the time. So we're here and we're doing a few things like that, but nothing really out of the ordinary to report on or anything. So as far as the stats go, in comparison, they're always the same from year to year. A little bit of give and take, you know, they sort of ebb and flow, but other than that, it's pretty good. Human resource wise, we are currently staffed with more people than I've had in 8 years. We got now, Brad? One shy now?
Yeah, one vacancy.
one vacancy right now, and we got one just came back off for mat leave, and one is going on to mat leave, so that kind of changes things, but all in all, we're doing pretty good for bodies. We've got a full complement of NCOs, one in each area, and all very qualified. So we're doing good that way. The biggest thing we've got going on right now as far as human resources goes, and this is one that has to stay in-house. Is this media? Is this over here?
No, that's members of the public.
Well, members of the public. Well, then this one should probably be in camera.
Okay. So
Then, so
if we could ask you to leave the room.
secrets, it's all secrets.
Yeah.
Are you back on, Sheriff?
Okay, well, and the final thing for me today is, I've got this picture I want to present to you guys. I meant to do this a few months ago, but I was unable to get down here due to various reasons. I've already talked to Joni about that. But for your new building, I got this little picture. It's called Sudden Bolt by Glenn Strimshaw. It's a nice little picture. You guys can hang it up if you choose. So I'll give that to you over here, Dave.
Okay. Well, thank you.
No problem. You guys got a heck of an office here. I got the tour already. It's very nice.
Thanks.
So you've done well for yourself. Other than that, if there's nothing else for us, we'll get out of here.
Okay, thanks again, and we'll look forward to next year's visit.
Maybe
Thank
next
you.
quarter.
Okay.
Joni, you call if you guys need anything, okay?
We will, thank you so
And I'll
much.
try to get Brian out here for the next meeting, so it's important, he's just in court today.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Thanks a lot.
Another brother.
Okay, be it resolved that the presentation of Staff Sergeant Quint Whitaker be received, so please move that. Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor McGregor, all in favor? Okay. We're in-
We're going to receive their quarterly report.
So is that number 2? Oh, it is, okay. Be resolved that the October 1st to December 31st, 2022 RCMP police report as previously distributed be received. Please, Councillor Fisher moves it, seconded Councillor McDonald. Discussion? All in favor? Okay, no bylaws?
Bylaws.
Be resolved that bylaw number 33-2023, being a bylaw to amend procedure bylaw number 18-2018 with respect to council meetings, be read a first time. Please move that. Councillor Jones, second Councillor McGregor. No discussion on a first reading. All in favor? An unfinished business. Be it resolved that the variation application number V7/22 be tabled to a special meeting of council to be held Monday, February 27th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Please move that. Councillor McGowan move this, second Councillor McGregor. Discussion. This will allow for the other, our 2 councillors that are away to be at meetings. We have full councillor representation for that meeting. All in favor? Carried. All right, under general business, be it resolved that proposed fiber path for road 112 south, 112 west rather, and 43 north path addition outlined on the map attached to correspondence dated January 19, 2023. From RF now be approved subject to the fiber offset being 1 meter from the property line and all road crossings being directional drilled and work area restored to its former state. Could you please move that? Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor McDonald, discussion. All in favor? Be it resolved that the proposed fiber path for road 44 north path addition outlined on the map attached to the correspondence dated January 24, 2023 from RF now be approved subject to the fiber offset being 1 meter from their property line and all road crossings being directionally drilled and work area restored to its former state. So please move that. Councilor McDonald, second by Councilor Jones.
Yeah, that's fine.
Discussion? Sure.
Quick question, every time they have to go, under a road, does it have to be approved, such as?
No, I think that each one is individual, but they've done their normal path around for us. These are additions,
Oh, okay.
so. All in favor? Be it resolved that the proposed fiber optic infrastructure install within the road allowance on the north side of Turkey Ranch Road, or Road 44 North, outlined in drawing number 1-85900-68421-0206-0001, attached to correspondence dated February 1st, 2023, be approved subject to the fiber offset being 3 meters from the property line and all road crossing be directionally drilled and work area restored to its former state. Would you please move that? Councilor Fisher, seconder. Councilor McDonald, discussion? Yes,
Mr. Chairman, this rural broadband that they're trying to do, is it just like a fiber optic?
it's Manitoba's Hydro's fiber optic line.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they're trying to expand. I think the provincial government basically has wanted to expand it to the rural area
Oh, okay.
off of their, where they have running on their hydro lines. So this is just a start, I think, for that.
Oh, okay, okay. I hadn't heard about it before, that's what I was
Is
wondering.
that not correct?
That is correct.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Be it resolved in accordance with the blanket Enbridge access agreement, the request from Canada West Land to allow temporary equipment crossing for soil remediation in Northwest 26-718 West and Southeast 26-718 West, as outlined in the correspondence dated February 9th, 2023, be approved. And please move that. Councilor McDonald, second to Councilor McGregor. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Whereas information has been received from the Next Gen Drainage Solutions on behalf of Kelly Martin with respect to a proposed tile drainage project located on North 6-718 West to road allowance of Road 107 West. And whereas no concerns have been expressed by the Public Works Manager, therefore be it resolved that the request for tile drainage permission and a consent from the Next Gen Drainage Solutions on behalf of Kelly Martin to supply and install tile drainage in the land parcel of North 6-718 West to the road allowance of Road 107 West be approved. Councilor Fisher moves it, seconder. Councilor McDonald, discussion? All in favor? Okay, whereas ownership of the West Wawanesa District Arena has transferred to the municipality, and whereas some municipalities name facilities and streets after deserving members of the community, now therefore be it resolved, the council in consultation with the Sewage River Rec Commission consider renaming the Wawanesa District Arena. As this is my motion, I think I will move it on the basis that I think it is time for something to be done with that area. I think it's important to recognize individuals, families, and others within our municipality. And this is just one way of doing it. I have a seconder. Councilor McDonald will second it. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Just a quick question on the previous motion. I think that's Kelly Martin, isn't it?
Kelly Martin.
Okay.
On
We've got it listed as Kelly Martin's,
it's with an S.
which is how it was on the application, but
Can correct that.
you might as well show correctly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's on 107, so.
It's IN too, not ENS.
I will do that.
Okay, be it resolved that the abuse and molestation policy number PER 015 as outlined in the correspondence from the Association of Manitoba Municipalities Insurance Program dated January 23rd, 2023 be approved. Please move that. Councillor Jones, seconder. Councillor Fisher, discussion? Councillor McGregor?
Mr. Chairman, I'm just wondering if this has an impact on our insurance. Like I read through the policy, it says that we need to report any potential incidents to Western Financial. If we don't do that, does that affect our ability to make a claim? And I'm just wondering, is this in our best interest or the insurance company's best interest?
Yeah, I read it too, and I just took it that it's in their best interests rather than ours. I mean, it's important that we follow up on that kind of stuff for sure. But there's no exclusion that I can understand within an insurance policy that you didn't report it because you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously having an abuse and molestation policy is something we should have, and then a good thing. It was curious to me that this request was coming from the insurance company, and I just wondered about the implications of it. And, I wonder if we should ask some more questions about, what happens if we choose not to pass this policy? What happens if we pass the policy and we don't report a claim right away? What's the potential coverage impact of?
Or we don't do the training.
Yeah.
Could pick it up. That's more so to me that it concerns that you haven't done anything to do.
Yeah.
So there are concerns, but I guess to have the policy in place and we can maybe follow up that from that perspective, because this is something that is coming from AMN as to the wording, et cetera. So it's a standard wording for everybody to adopt. Now, unless we want to table it and get some further discussion or information from them. As you said, I don't see any reason not to have a policy, but it's just at the same time, I'm really not fond of the way it came about either. Presentation.
If I could add, there are definitely some concerns with other municipalities as well. Within our associations, there have been questions as to who has adopted it or who hasn't. Bigger questions lie with the responsibility for the municipality to do the training. In our instance, that's probably even more the case when we don't run some of the facilities that offer the programs. So there was definitely going to be some questions asked as to whether or not there is an opportunity to delegate to the board that does operate, or whether there is something that we need to get in play in order to train staff that are kind of arm's length. And there was also a little bit of concern just within our own staff here with respect to how much is abuse subjective. And an example I would give you is we had one occurrence where we had a child and a parent in the office, an adult child and a parent. And there seemed to be a little bit of discourse between the two. Is that something you report as abuse? Is that something that was a bad day on both people's behalves? How far are we expected to carry this? So definitely some questions to ask. And I'm not sure that with the information that we were provided that we've been given any of that information. All we were given was a deadline by which this needed to go in place.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just kind of wondering if we should table and get more information on it. I'm wondering that.
What's the time limit that you're going to give them?
It's due to, it has to be in place by February the 28th,
Oh, it does.
is what their AMN correspondence indicated.
Or what?
Well, and I guess that's the question.
Good question. That is a good question. I don't think we're gonna have anything fall down the road. On myself,
I guess we've got a special meeting next week anyways. If we found out more information and for some reason we wanted to pass it, we could do it at that special meeting. Right?
So do I hear that somebody is wanting to pass a tabling motion?
Sure. I'll put forward the table.
further discussion next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, and just maybe we can ask some questions in the meantime. The whole whole thing seems interesting, the way that it's coming about and, you know, fairly short-term deadlines and the renewal of the program is coming up. I'm wondering if this is somehow related to that.
Okay, so we have a seconder, Councilor McDonald. On the tabling motion, all in favor?
You would need some serious training because you could upend a life if you made a very incorrect observation.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of liability aspects that can come about by even just consistent. However, okay, so that's tabled for next meeting. Next item is be it resolved that the 2023 draft budget from administration be received, and further be it resolved that a public hearing be held March 21st, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. to receive representation. Okay, please move that. Councilor Fisher, seconder. Councilor McDonald. Discussion. All in favor? Carried. Okay, whereas the 2021 audited financial statements showed a deficit in the amount of $205,265, which was recovered in 2022, and whereas there's an additional 2022 deficit in the amount of $250,000 due to $210,000 in ineligible projects for gas tax funds, and $40,000 in anticipated operating fund adjustments. Now therefore be it resolved that the municipality requests permission from the Minister of Municipal Relations to approve the deficit recovery of $250,000 over 3 years or less by mill rate. Will you please move that? Councilor McDonald, seconder. Councilor McGregor, discussion? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the permanent public works staff, with the exception of the public works manager, be reimbursed for personal cell phone use at a rate of $40 per month for full-time employees and prorated amount dependent on hours worked for part-time employees. So please move that. Councilor Fisher, seconder. Councilor McGregor, discussion? All in favor? Okay, be it resolved that this regular meeting now adjourns to an in-camera meeting to discuss the personnel and financial matters as per subsection 152(3)(b)(2) and 3 of the Municipal Act, and all matters discussed in camera are confidential until discussed in an open meeting as per section 83(1)(d) of the Municipal Act. So please move that. Councilor Donald, seconder. Councilor Fisher, all in favor? Carried. Okay, we need to see that. So be it resolved that administration be directed to prepare the necessary tender documents for paving of 2 blocks in Wawanesa and up to 3 intersections in the rural area. Please. Councilor Fisher, seconder. Councilor McGregor. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. And be resolved that the 2-year agreement with independent contractor for years 2023 and 2024 as previously circulated be approved. Please move that. Councilor McDonald, seconder. Councilor McGregor, discussion. All in favor? Be it resolved that this meeting does now adjourn to meet on Tuesday, March. Let's do a regular meeting. You want to do this?
I want to do the regular meeting, which is March the 21st, because the special meeting will be called separately from this.
Be it resolved that this meeting does now adjourn to meet again on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023 at 9 a.m. at the municipal office in Wawanesa. So please move that. Councilor McGregor, second. Councilor Jones, all in favor? Carried. We are adjourned.
Yes.